Tia, yep, yeah. Tia, yep. Yes, sir. Tia, yep. Tia. Yeah, tia, yep. Tia. Yep, two, yep, tia. Yes, sir. Yeah. Tia. Yeah, yeah. Yep, tia, yep. Tia, sir. Yeah. Tia. Hello, my name is Nick Cerio. Welcome to the first of our bow staff training videos. What we're going to do today is show you the basics of block and striking in our combat form that we're going to demonstrate. And also, as a special treat, we're going to do a traditional bow kata called Shushi no Kansho. Upon completion of these forms, we will demonstrate the bunkai. That's the application of each and every movement of the form. I'm sure you're going to enjoy this. So I think right now, let's get to work. Yeah. Two. Two. Yeah. Two. 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 Yeah. Tia. Yep. Tia. Yep. Tia. 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 Yeah. Tia. Yeah. Tia. Yeah. Okay, right now we're going to show the basic blocks with your bow. First block we're going to show is an upward block against an overhead strike. It's very important to block at an angle because when you're blocking a sharp instrument, if you block dead on, it could break or cut through your weapon. So you angulate your block slightly. Let's do that with a little movement. Okay. There's your block there. Okay, that's for an overhead strike. Now we're going to show you a block from a right 45-degree angle strike. We step back. Again, notice how I block. I don't block straight in now. I angulate. Now, if he proceeded with his, if he started to put some pressure on me, this is all that would happen. His sword would go straight down. Okay, follow through. That's what would happen. Okay. Do that again slow. Here, 1 and 2. Okay. We also have what we call an extended low block. This is for a low strike coming towards your legs. We step back, we extend our weapon down. The same thing here. Note how I have my hand. If he tries to continue his strike, it goes up and over. Okay, so we're in full control of his weapon at all times. Okay, straight in thrust. Okay, from behind. Notice, hold your weapon back here. Okay, this is the straight in thrust from here. Okay, we shift out of the way and redirect his weapon. Okay, remember these are just basic blocks that we're showing right now. Let's try that again. Straight in. Hey. Okay. Very important to move as he moves. As soon as I see that weapon coming, I shift out of the way. Okay. It's nothing wrong with shifting because sometimes he can come in with a great amount of speed. So even at this point, our block hits the hand. It doesn't matter where it hits, actually, as long as we get that sword away from us. Okay. From here, we're going to show a combination block. He's going to come in with an overhead strike. From the overhead strike, he's going to come off to the side. From here, 1, he brings his weapon back to his right side, comes in, 2. Okay, notice I'm using the floor for the block here. Okay, let's try that. Let's go for middle strike this time, the second time. Okay, over the top, middle. Okay, and of course your blocks can be done in either direction. Okay, don't move before your opponent moves. In other words, if your opponent is striking, don't start to move back at this point because he has time to change his strike. So you want to move with him. So as soon as he moves, you move. Notice how I turn my body on the blocks. Just so we don't absorb all the power, because at this point, this is what could happen. Okay, this could break, or you could come in with and hit you with your own weapon. So always angulate your weapon. Okay? Okay, what I'm showing here is strikes off the blocks. Now, we just did the blocks a little while ago, but now we're showing you the strikes. Notice how I just pivot my body, and I'm automatically doing my strike. From here, I can pull back without moving my body and strike directly to his throat. Okay? We'll do that again slow. Block, strike, pull back, thrust. Okay, good. Now we'll show the strike off the block for a 45-degree angle strike. There's our block here. Again, the twist of the body, there's a strike there. Twist of the body here, there's a thrust here. Strike here, pull back, down to the groin area. Okay? Again, these strikes are made without moving the body. Okay? Because once we're in position, we've got it made. Thrust to the midsection of the body from here. Thrust comes in. There's our block here. From here, I can strike the hand so he can let go of the sword. From here, I can come down to the back of the neck. From here, I can go to the groin and back to the neck again, or up to the throat. You have a selection of strikes here once you execute your block. Okay. And now we have we'll show the block and strike for strike to the leg area. Okay, from here. There's our long block, long range block. From here, we can go to the foot. We can go to the hands here again. We can shift the bow down to the groin. We can come back to the side of the neck. We can come up to the side, to the opposite side of the head. Again, these are the selections that you have, depending on how proficient you are with your bow. Okay? We're going to try another one here. This is a variation of an overhead block and strike. From here, you hear a sound. You look. Person's coming in. You step back or forward, either way, raising your bow up. From here, you step back, bring your bow down. That takes care of the weapon. Come up and hit the hands. That would let him lose his weapon. And again, from here, the back of the neck or to the throat. Okay, and then if you want to, you can go back to the legs here and take care of them here. Okay? Okay, I'd like to show a couple more blocks. One is called a crane block. Okay, so we put ourselves in the position of a crane. From here, a person is trying to strike you low. Here's our crane block. From here, we take out the weapon away from the opponent. We slide the bow over. We hit him to the groin, bring it back, strike to the chest area. Okay? Get it? We'll do that once more. From here, good. Make our block, take the bow away, strike, and strike. Okay. The next one I'm going to do is show you a long-range block for vertical strike. Okay, come in to the side of the head here. Okay, here's our long range. Now notice when we block, do it again, please. When we block, we automatically do a strike. From here, without losing, because when I block and strike, more than likely the bow will drop out of his hands. From here, I just transfer the bow to the left hand, make my strike to the groin. From here, come over the head. And I can come back again. Okay, let's try that. Take your time. Okay, from here, block strike, which lets the weapon go. From here, strike to the groin, over the top of the head, to the side of the head. All depends where the opponent is. And from here, we can keep on going. You notice you can just keep on going with the strikes. The bow is one of the best weapons you can possibly have, because there's always a broom, a mop, a long branch out in the street. So you always have a weapon like the bow. That's why it's my favorite weapon.
Yeah.
Okay, what we're going to do here right now is to do the bunkai in a very slow manner so that you can see each and every move as it happens. Okay? From here, the opponent comes in with an overhead strike. You step back with an upward block. At this point, the bow drops. You strike to the side of the rib cage and then over to the opposite side of the rib cage. That should eliminate your opponent. At this point, another opponent comes in with a side strike. You're making your vertical block. From here, you're striking into the side of the knee. Pull the bow up, strike to the side of the neck, which eliminates that opponent. At this point, another opponent's coming in with a left strike. You make your vertical block again here. Same thing as the other side. You strike to the side of the knee. Notice how it takes the opponent right down. From here, you pull your bow up, finish him off with a downward strike to the head. Okay, that takes care of this opponent. At this point, there's another individual coming at you with a downward strike. You make your block, pivot your body, which allows you to strike your opponent at the same time. As you close the gap, pull your bow back to strike to his neck, to his throat area. Okay? From here, another opponent comes in to strike your leg. You do your crane block, which you've seen before. Step down, still controlling his weapon, pull it over so it drops to the floor. At this point, you can strike the opponent right to the groin area. Pull your bow back by shifting your weight, strike him to the chest area. From here, another opponent tries to hit your rear leg. Come in with a low block, strike him to his foot, to the foot that's in front of you. Bring your bow back and strike right to his sternum area. From here's another opponent coming in to strike you. Pivot your body, block and strike to the side of his head. At this point, let your bow slide back, pivot, execute a roundhouse kick to his chest area. That should eliminate him. From here, you step back, and the opponent's coming in with a low strike. Make your block. At this point, you extend a kick to his hands. That would let go of the bow. Come down, strike him to the side of the neck. Groin. Pull the bow back, strike to the back of the neck. Follow through with the opposite side for another strike to down your opponent. You turn, you look. Opponent's trying to hit you over the head. You strike to the left side of the rib cage. Bring the bow around, execute another strike to the other side of the rib cage. At this point, your form is all set. Finished. Bow. Right now, Russell's going to do a traditional Okinawan bow kata called Shushi no Kansho. He's going to go at medium speed, and I'll be guiding him as he does his form. Okay, Russell, you ready? Okay, go right ahead. That's it. Relax. Good boy. Take your time now. Watch your opponents. Remember your opponents. Good, strong stance. Look first. Don't forget to pull your bow in position before you actually make the move, Russell. Good. Keep it going. Look first. That's it. Good. Give me a nice thrust now. That's it. Take your time now. Relax. Relax. On guard stance. Beautiful. Okay, that's what you have to do. Relax more. Good. Okay, right now we're going to show you the Shushi no Kansho in a very slow manner, and I will explain each and every movement as Dennis applies them. Bow, prepare for Shushi no Kansho. Move. This is just the opening, the ceremonial part of the kata. Here he executes a chi. And from here he'll execute a downward strike. Okay, at this point, Dennis is going to follow up with a rear strike and a forward strike, stepping into it. Okay. Now, Dennis looks to his left and he sees an opponent trying to hit him to his leg, so he's going to step out to his right and execute a low block. His next movement will be a combination outside block with a strike to the groin area. The next move will be an outside block to his right rear with an overhead strike, follow through with a circle and curl. At this point, he looks to his front. He positions himself for a jump-in overhead strike. Now he will jump in and execute overhead strike. Steps back with a circular movement and combination curl. He will step into an outside block to his right, execute a jump-in overhead strike, stepping back with a circle and curl. He will follow up with an outside block again. This time he will step in with an overhead strike, executing a circle and curl. Now he will look to his left and block low for a strike coming in low, and he will follow through with a strike to the foot of his opponent. He will now step in with a combination block strike, overhead strike to the collarbone, strike to the groin, strike to the collarbone again, and now he will execute what we call a figure eight strike. Okay? At this point, Dennis will execute the same techniques to his left rear. He will step in with the right foot and execute the block. Strike to the foot, stepping in with a combination block strike, overhead strike to the collarbone, strike to the groin, collarbone, the figure eight again, circle, and curl. Opponent coming into his left front, executing a low strike. Dennis will step in and meet the strike with a low block, strike the foot again, step in with a combination block strike, execute an overhead strike to the collarbone area. Now he will follow through with a thrust to the opponent's chest area. At this point, he will step back, do the circle, cross circle. This is called a cross circle because he's crossing over with a large circle, curl. Now he will step out with his left foot and execute a middle strike to the opponent's rib cage. At this point, he will execute another outside block to his right, follow through with an overhead strike to the collarbone area, another thrust to the chest area, coming back with a circle and a curl. He ends his form basically the same way he started it. Thank you, Dennis. What I like to do now is to demonstrate the bunkai, which application, of course, is what bunkai means, of Shushi no Kansho. Now, I won't do all the moves, but I'm going to just take the highlights out and demonstrate them for you. Okay. The first thing that you're seeing in the form was a front and rear strike, so try to imagine that there's an opponent coming at you from the rear and one coming at the front. So at this point here, right back here, like you're going to hit me over the head, okay? This is your rear strike that you're doing here, okay? Another opponent's in front, though. This is your front strike that you're doing to him. Some of the other moves that you've seen in there in proper order was the low block. Give me a strike this way here. Was a low block. This is what he was doing in the form. He was blocking low here. At this point, the person takes the rear of his bow and try to hit him here. So he simply took his bow and extended and blocked. Now, you notice I said it was a combination block and strike. Notice the end of the bow where it's headed for. It's headed for his groin. Okay, so there's your block, and there's your strike to the groin. On the other side, you're seeing the same movement. Just strike to, stay here. Strike over here. That's it. You're seeing this movement here, and then you're seeing this here. Keep the bow up here, please. Okay? That's what you want to see. Let's do that again, please. Block. Okay. This is where the bow goes away, and he makes a strike here. Okay? You're also seeing, okay, we'll go to the next move. Going down the middle, you're seeing jumps. So what's happening here, the person is coming into a jump. Here's where you're going to do an upward block for me. An upper block. Person came in, you've seen a jump here. At this point, the person takes the bow and tries to hit him with it. Okay, just bring it in and try to thrust it towards my face. Just thrust the bow towards my face. The point. Thrust it. You know how to thrust it?
Yes.
Thrust it, please. Okay, what you're seeing was this. Okay, there's a circle. I'm going to go into that move a little more, a little later. Okay, right now, the other moves you've seen was again, give me a strike here, please. Okay, a block here. Then you've seen this here. At this point, you've seen a strike to the groin. Okay, just like this. Then you've seen the bow come back over here. At this point, the next move rather that you've seen was called a figure eight. Now, how a figure eight works is this way. Say the person's in a position here like this. Okay, a figure eight is when I go to strike up high, you're going to execute an upward block. Okay, there's the first part of my figure eight. Just do a downward block now. Just drop your bow down. No, just drop your bow straight down. Now the next move is going to the groin. As I go to the groin, my opponent drops his bow to block. Good. At this point here, you've seen the rest of the figure eight. So what you've seen was this here. A strike, knocking his hand off of that one, and a strike, knocking the bow out of that hand. Follow through with a strike to the collarbone. That's why we call it a figure eight. Strike, strike, strike. Okay? That's your figure eight. That was used quite a bit in the form. The other strike that you've seen used, let's say I'm standing here and the opponent gets ready to strike. He's coming in to attack me. And I would do a thrust right to his chest, which would stop him. That's that thrust that you're seeing. Okay? The next movement that you're seeing was a low circular block. Again, standing here, the opponent tries to hit your leg. You did a crossover, and there's your low block here, trapping the bow. Okay? At this point, you would go on with a strike, but maybe in our future videos we'll show you the more advanced techniques for these. The other movement you've seen was a middle strike, which is self-explanatory, of course. From this movement here, you see this here, guy's trying to hit you again high. You went underneath the strike and you extended your bow out to the side of his body. So basically, the Shushi no Kansho form was designed for blocks and strikes against another bow. The form was designed by a gentleman called Shushi. That's why the kata is named after him. So it's called Shushi no Kansho, which means it's the first bow designed by Master Shushi. Okay, right now I'm going to demonstrate the figure eight movement that you've seen a little earlier in the form. The first portion of the figure eight is an outside block for an outside strike. At this point, I redirect his bow, strike to the collarbone area. Now I try to go to his groin, which he blocks. Then I decide to go to the collarbone, he blocks that also. Now comes the last part of the figure eight. I strike the left hand with the top end of the bow. The bottom end comes to strike the right hand. And then from here, I finish him off with a strike to the collarbone. That's called a figure eight set. The last couple of movements that you've seen in Shushi no Kansho are the circle and the curl. Now, the circle is to take a weapon away from opponent. Okay? And all you do, the main part about this technique is to make sure your bow stays with the opponent's bow or his weapon. Now, once I get away from it, if I go like this, I haven't completely gotten rid of his weapon. So in order to get rid of his weapon, I stick with him. I can take the weapon off, and from here, we follow up with a strike. So it looks like this. We'll do a continuous motion. 1, 2, strike. Okay? The curl that you see in the form is for redirecting a strike coming to your face. Let's say you happen to have your weapons here, and the opponent, no, you don't have to touch, just leave it right there. The opponent decides to try and thrust the bow into your face, and all you do is redirect. And from here, guess what? There's your strike. Again, slowly. Redirect, strike. Now, you can also take your strike from the bottom or from the rear part of the bow. Thrust it, redirect, strike. And then you can just keep on following through. Okay. Later on, we'll get into more of the advanced strikes. We have a lot of advanced type strikes. For instance, if someone's coming out, I'm just going to show you one little quick one. Coming with a strike here. Here's your block here. Now, I did that kind of slow. What I would really do is I would strike the hand. But the nice part about this technique is here, it's 1, 2. We keep the bow going. We don't have to really re-grip it or anything like that. It's called shifting. Okay, we just shift it. It's palming. Some people refer to this as palming. Okay, but we're going to let you wait for that one. We're not going to do it right now. Thank you, Jeff. Okay, right now I've got Mr. Paul Mayo here who's going to demonstrate one of our competition forms. This form was designed mainly for competition. It'll give you an idea of what we have coming up in future videos. Paul? Well, I hope you enjoyed our first of Carter series. Before we leave, I'd like to introduce the people that helped me put this video together. First of all, Jeff Duclos, Dennis Bucco, Russell Layfield, and Paul Mayo. Again, I hope you enjoyed yourself. Watch for the next video. And if you like any further information, please don't hesitate to call us.